Hello there and welcome back to Layman's Medicine. Today we are going to discuss about a disorder of our speech or language which usually occurs after damage to the brain. A lot of people after a traumatic brain injury or stroke develops a condition called as aphasia. This term was developed in the mid-19th century and has its roots in the Greek, meaning not being able to speak or speechless. What happens in aphasia is that the person is unable to understand other people's speech or writings, or finds it difficult to communicate with others through speech or writings. To understand how it happens, let us first understand the speech pathway in the brain. Well, when it comes to spoken words, we first hear the voice which through the auditory nerve is transferred to the primary auditory cortex, which is present in the temporal lobe. In this temporal lobe also lies a region called the Wernicke's area, which is responsible for assigning meanings to the heard words and sounds. It is an area which have memories and perceptions of words and is the area that recognizes the spoken words. The information from Wernicke's area is passed on to the Broca's area, which is present in the frontal lobe, through a bundle of axons called the arcuate fasciculus. The Broca's area is where the speech is produced and it is responsible for controlling the breathing patterns and vocalizations required for speaking. From here, the information goes to the motor cortex which controls the muscle movement of the larynx and orofacial region, allowing the person to speak. For written words, the words that are visualized are sent to the primary visual cortex. From here, the message goes on to the digerens area which is present in the occipitotemporal region. This area makes sense of the written words or letters and like Wernicke's area gives meaning to them. The arcuate fasciculus also takes information from the digerens area to the Broca's area for production of speech, but for writing, a major role is played by the premotor cortex and not the motor cortex. Coming back to aphasia, there are many types of aphasias, but the most commonest types are Broca's aphasia, Wernicke's aphasia, anomic aphasia, and primary progressive aphasia. The other ways of classifying the same aphasias are fluent or non-fluent aphasia and expressive, receptive and global aphasia. Broca's aphasia is also called as the non-fluent aphasia, and the reason being that the person with this aphasia finds it difficult to say what they mean to say. They understand what the other person is saying but may find it difficult to speak exactly what they want to say. Another term for this is expressive aphasia. The speech is severely reduced with limited vocabulary. Patient may not be able to write either but understands the written words. The patient may also take a lot of time to reply and may reply in improperly formed sentences. All this occurs because the Broca's area is our center of speech production, which commands our body to create the sound to say the correct things. The next aphasia is Wernicke's aphasia. It is also called as the fluent aphasia or receptive aphasia. In this, the person may be able to speak fluently, but what they say does not make sense. The person is not able to understand what they hear or say. This is because the Wernicke's area is the area that gives meaning to all heard sound, whether spoken by themselves or others. The person in this aphasia will have impaired reading and writing and will not be able to give meaningful replies. They may sometimes add irrelevant words in severe cases. Remember that the person does not know what they are saying is incorrect and not relevant. So, they may become frustrated when people fail to understand what they are speaking. Anomic aphasia is the inability to speak or write the exact words the person wants to convey. Mostly, it involves not being able to say important nouns and verbs. Primary progressive aphasia is a type of aphasia in which the patient slowly and progressively loses its communication capabilities, including reading, writing, and speech. It occurs over a period of years and there is no cure for it. Lastly, coming to global aphasia, it is a very severe impairment of both understanding and communicating, which may include all types of communication. It may be considered as a mixture of both Wernicke's aphasia and Broca's aphasia. So this is all for aphasia. Please do subscribe and hit that notification button and stay tuned to Layman's Medicine.